There comes a moment in a soul's journey where the ordinary world begins to feel strange, like a costume that no longer fits, like a play where the script keeps repeating, but your heart is no longer in the role. If you're here, listening, watching, feeling this, I need you to understand something. Right now, not later, not someday. Now, you are not who you were told you were. You are not here just to survive, to conform, to repeat. You are here because you are a bridge chosen one. Your role is rare, sacred, and so needed now that if you do not rise, entire timelines may never be born. Let that sink in. This is not a metaphor. This is a soul-level reality. You are a bridge between dimensions, or between timelines.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Between the old world that is dying and the new world that is aching to be born. You are not here to fit in. You are here to weave between worlds. But you forgot, didn't you? We all did. That forgetting was part of the initiation. You were born with gifts that made you feel like an alien, a misfit, a mistake. You could feel others' pain before they spoke it. You could see through the words into the energy behind them. You could sense when something wasn't right even when everyone else smiled and said it was. You were told to quiet that voice, to dull that vision, or to numb that sensitivity. And for a while, maybe you did. But the truth, it never left. It waited. It waited for the moment, like this one, when the veil would thin and you would start to remember. Bridge chosen ones are not ordinary beings. We are ancient. We've lived through the collapse of civilizations and the birth of new ones. We've walked with mystics, kings, prophets, and rebels. We've carried codes through lifetimes, hidden behind the eyes of ordinary humans. But we are not ordinary. We are the ones who walk in both light and dark, not to take sides, but to transmute. We are the ones who hold ancient wisdom in modern bodies. We are the ones who can feel the suffering of the collective and still choose to stay because we remember what's on the other side. We are bridges. We are architects of new worlds. But here's the truth that most won't tell you. Being a bridge hurts. It hurts because you're always in between. You're not fully in the 3D world, chasing money, fame, or validation. But you're not fully in the 5D either, floating in transcendence. You live in the tension, the paradox, the stretch. You know there's more. But you also know you can't bypass the human experience. You feel the pull to ascend, but you also feel the call to anchor, to bring heaven here, to bring frequency into form, to bring the divine into the messy, imperfect, beautiful chaos of earth. And that is no small task. Let me ask you something powerful. What if the very pain you feel from not belonging is actually a sign that your soul belongs to a future that hasn't arrived yet? You let that ripple through you, because this is what it means to be a bridge chosen one. You carry the frequency of the future inside your nervous system. And you've been asked to plant that frequency into a world that still clings to the past. That's why it's been hard. That's why you felt like giving up. That's why you've wondered if you're crazy, broken, or lost. But you are none of those things. You are encoded. You are calibrated. You are chosen not in some elitist sense, but in a deeply sacred, humbling one. You volunteered for this, not because it would be easy, but because it would be impactful. You said, "Send me. I'll go. I'll remember. Even if it breaks me open," and maybe it has. Maybe you've been broken open so many times, you forgot what wholeness feels like. But let me tell you something I learned in the desert, under the stars, after days of silence and fasting. The ones who are broken open are the only ones who can carry the light. Because the cracks are where truth enters. And your truth is needed, desperately. Because we are at a threshold now. The world is trembling. Old systems are collapsing. Truths are surfacing. Souls are waking up. And in this chaos, there is a hidden order, the sacred unfolding. But it's fragile. It needs midwives. It needs bridges. It needs you. So what do? How do we live as bridge chosen ones in a world that doesn't yet see us? The first step is inner mastery. You must learn to hold your own frequency, no matter what chaos is around you. That means regulating your nervous system when the world is in panic, trusting your intuition when logic tries to override it, staying rooted in your truth, even when others gaslight you into silence. You are not here to match the frequency of the world. You are here to raise it. You are a tuning fork for the collective. And every time you choose presence over panic, alignment over people-pleasing, soul over survival, you ripple that into the grid. Yes, even when no one sees it. Especially then. Because the true power of a bridge chosen one is not in what we do, but in what we become. We become a portal, a vortex, a living transmission. That's why your self-care is sacred. That's why your boundaries are holy, because your energy is your offering. And you cannot afford to leak it into things that are not aligned with your mission. Let me ask you something soul deep. What are you still giving energy to that is not aligned with your bridge work? Because every time you say yes to what drains you, you say no to your future. And your future needs you now. Not the version of you that's afraid. Not the version of you that's hiding. The version of you that remembers. The version of you that's willing to be misunderstood, judged, even abandoned, because the mission is that important. And here's the secret. The more you embody that version, the more the world rearranges around you. People will start to find you. Opportunities will open. Synchronicities will accelerate. Not because you forced anything, but because you aligned with your soul's architecture. You became the bridge. And the bridge doesn't chase. The bridge doesn't beg. The bridge holds. It holds the space between the old and the new. It holds the vision when others forget. It holds the light when others collapse into darkness. And in that holding, miracles happen. You don't need to be loud. You need to be clear. You don't need to save everyone. You need to ignite the ones who are ready, because you're not here for the masses. You're here for the grid, the planetary frequency grid. And every time you choose your truth, your joy, your alignment, you light up another node. You activate another pathway. You open another timeline. That is not a metaphor. That is physics. You are a living, breathing quantum bridge. And your life is sacred geometry in motion. But here's what they don't tell you. Being a bridge is lonely. Not forever, but in the beginning. Because you are often the first. The first in your family to awaken. The first in your community to question everything. The first to say, I don't buy into this system anymore. And that kind of truth-telling can exile you. But it also frees you. Because once you stop needing the approval of the old world, you become a vessel for the new. And the new world is magnetic. It will find you. But only if you are being you. Not the version of you that's acceptable. The version of you that is untamed. That version is the bridge. That version is the prophecy fulfilled. That version is the one we've been waiting for. So I ask you one more time, are you ready to become the bridge you were born to be? Because the world is not waiting for another influencer, another guru, another trend. It's waiting for you in your rawness, your messiness, your divinity, your paradox. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. That's where your power lives. That's where the bridge is built. Not in the future, not in the past, but in the now. Right here, right now, you are being asked to step forward. Not later. Now. If you're still here, listening, breathing this in, it means you felt it. The recognition. The soul-level resonance that says, yes, this is me. I am the bridge. But what now? Knowing you are a bridge chosen one is just the beginning. Understanding your role is sacred, yes. But activating it? That takes everything you've got. Because this isn't about talking spiritual. This is about walking cosmic truth in a world that barely believes in energy. So I want to take you on a journey now. Not outward, but inward. Into the architecture of your soul. Into the bridge code that lives inside you waiting to be unlocked. Because the bridge is not something you build externally first. It's something you become internally. And when the inner bridge is activated, the outer world reorganizes itself around your frequency. Let's begin where all real transformation does, with presence. Presence is your superpower. You cannot be a bridge if you are fragmented, distracted, or lost in loops. You cannot carry the frequency of the future if you are entangled in the density of the past. So the first step is this: reclaim your attention. You must become the guardian of your awareness like it is the most sacred currency in the universe, because it is. Every scroll, every mindless click, every unconscious conversation, these are leaks. Microfractures in the bridge you are meant to hold. You cannot afford to leak anymore. This doesn't mean you become a monk on a mountain. It means you become clear in your field. You move from reaction to response. You stop outsourcing your consciousness to the algorithm, to the noise, to the false gods of performance. You return to your own signal, because your signal is the bridge. It's not your words. It's not your aesthetic. It's your frequency. And frequency can only rise when you are rooted. So you root in breath, in silence, or in your body. You stop escaping the human experience and begin inhabiting it with reverence. Because here's the paradox: you are a cosmic being, and you are here to be fully human. The more you anchor into your humanness, the more light your body can hold. And that light, that's what builds the bridge. Let's talk about the bridge code. It's not one thing. It's a multidimensional intelligence that expresses through 5 core activations. And when all 5 are unlocked, your presence becomes a living transmission. Let's walk through each one. Activation 1, frequency integrity. This means your inner world matches your outer world. Your words match your energy. Your actions match your soul. No more spiritual bypassing. No more pretending. No more faking good vibes when your nervous system is screaming. You learn to honor your realness, because authenticity is coherence. And coherence is power. You become a tuning fork for truth. Start here. Speak only what's true, even if it's messy. Say no when your body contracts. Say yes when your soul sings. Let your alignment matter more than approval. Ask yourself, where am I still betraying myself to be accepted by a world I came here to transform? That question alone can initiate an entire rebirth. Activation 2, emotional alchemy. As a bridge, you feel more. You're not broken for that. You're built for it. You are an emotional transmuter, a frequency filter. You take in the heaviness of the collective, and if you're conscious, you alchemize it into light. But if you're unconscious, it becomes a weight that drowns you. So you must learn the art of emotional alchemy. Here's how. When a heavy emotion arises, don't suppress it. Don't analyze it. Feel it all the way through your body without story, without shame. Energy is always trying to move. Your job is to be the sacred river, not the dam. The more emotion you transmute, the more frequency you can carry. You become a walking vortex of possibility, and others will feel that. They'll say things like, "I don't know why, but I feel safe around you." That's because your field is clean. Your bridge is clear. Activation 3, devotional discipline. This is where we lose most people. Because this activation asks you to show up daily, not for results, but for resonance. You are not here to chase outcomes. You are here to become the outcome. So you create daily rituals that remind your body and soul of who you are. Meditation not to escape, but to remember. Movement not to shape your body, but to release static. Stillness not to be productive, but to be present. Your discipline is your devotion. It's not a cage. It's a container for your light. Ask yourself, what would my daily life look like if I truly believed I was a bridge between worlds? Then live like that is true. Because it is. Activation 4, future embodiment. This is one of the most powerful codes. As a bridge chosen one, you are not just reacting to the present, you are channeling the future. That means you must embody the energy of the world you're here to build. You don't wait for peace to be peaceful. You don't wait for liberation to feel free. You become the frequency now, and in doing so, you collapse time. That is quantum leadership. That is bridge consciousness. So ask yourself, What does my future self feel like, walk like, speak like, love like? And then, moment by moment, choose that. This is not delusion. It's reality creation. You are not here to predict the future. You're here to be it. Activation 5, Sacred Service. This is where your bridge function becomes a gift to others. You stop hoarding your light. You stop waiting to be ready. You begin serving not from ego, but from overflow. You understand that your presence itself is medicine. Your story is sacred text. Your healing is a map for others. And you share it in whatever way feels aligned. You don't need a platform. You don't need a title. You need courage. Courage to speak. Courage to show up. Courage to be seen, even when your voice shakes. Even when your hands tremble. Because the bridge doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be open. So here's the ultimate question. What if your life is the bridge between someone else's despair and someone else's awakening? Would you still hide? Or would you rise? Because that's what's being asked of you now. Rise, not in ego, but in essence, to stop waiting for permission, to stop apologizing for your depth, to stop shrinking your frequency to make others comfortable. You are not here to fit in. You are here to fracture illusion. And that will make people uncomfortable. That will make some reject you. That will make others try to put you back in the box. Let them. You don't need to be understood. You need to be true, because the ones who are meant to find you will. They are already on their way. Every time you speak your truth, they get closer. Every time you show your heart, they hear your frequency. Every time you choose alignment over approval, the bridge gets stronger. And one day soon, sooner than you think, something incredible will happen. You will look around and realize you're not alone anymore. You'll realize the bridge wasn't just something you built. It was something you became. And in becoming, you called forth a new reality. That is the sacred power of the bridge chosen one. And that power is already in you. We've crossed a threshold now. If you're still here, still breathing this in, still letting these words reach the places within you that the world forgot to love, then something ancient inside you is awake again. You are not just remembering, you are becoming. You are becoming the living bridge. You're not here to just talk about New Earth, or imagine it, or dream of it in meditation circles. You're here to walk it day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath, until it is no longer a vision, but a lived experience. And you are not alone. There are thousands of us, millions even, quietly waking up in every corner of this planet. We are the sacred thread weaving the old world to the new. We are the ones who said yes before we even had bodies. We are the ones who chose to remember, no matter how hard it would be. And now we step into the embodiment of that yes. Not just as a nice idea, not as a trend, but as a way of life. Because being a bridge chosen one isn't something you do once and then check off. It's not a title. It's a sacred assignment, a living choice, a daily act of revolution. So let's talk about what that really means, what it looks like, what it costs, and what it gives back in return. Because this path, It's not for the faint of heart. It requires that we die to who we thought we were over and over again. It demands that we shed identities, beliefs, attachments, comfort zones. It asks us to walk into the unknown with nothing but trust in our bones. But what we receive is everything: freedom, peace, power, and a love so pure and vast, it reorders your DNA. Let's begin here. To become a living bridge, you must stop waiting to be rescued. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are not here to be saved, you are here to remember that you are the medicine. The world doesn't need more heroes. The world needs initiated humans who know how to hold complexity with grace. So how do we lead? How do we walk in our rare, sacred role with both humility and fire? We begin with embodied frequency leadership. No more talking about light while living in fear. No more preaching love while avoiding your own shadow. No more hiding behind spiritual language to bypass human messiness. You must become the message. Your life is your sermon. Your energy is your legacy. That means you take responsibility for your patterns. You stop blaming the matrix and start mastering your own vibration. You meet your triggers like sacred teachers, not enemies. Because the bridge is not built in comfort. It is forged in the fires of your own transformation. Every time you choose presence over panic, forgiveness over fury, truth over convenience, you hold the bridge open. You become a pillar of possibility. But let me tell you something few dare to say. You will be tested, not by punishment but by purpose. Initiation will come. Life will ask, are you walking in alignment with what you claim to believe? You will be stripped of what is false. You will be asked to let go of what no longer fits. You will be called to stand alone so that you can remember how much power you carry when you're rooted in your essence. This is sacred fire, not destruction. This is how gold is refined. This is how bridges are built. In those moments, you must return to center, to silence, to your breath. Because the bridge is not held by opinion or popularity. It is held by frequency, and frequency does not lie. So I ask you, can you hold your truth even when no one else sees it? Can you embody freedom even when surrounded by fear? Can you walk as love when the world screams for division? This is what it means to lead, not with ego, not with force, but with resonance. It's not about convincing the world. It's about becoming so aligned, so clear, so deeply authentic that your very being is a transmission. People will feel it. They won't know why, but they'll say, there's something about you, something steady, something real. That's the bridge. And it's not just for you. It's for your lineage. It's for the earth. It's for the children of the future who will never know the systems that enslaved us because you chose to dismantle them with your frequency. You are not just healing yourself. You are dismantling pattern architecture across timelines. You are closing loops. You are opening new ones. And that's why your mission must be rooted in integrity. Because the temptation to perform will always be there. But the bridge is not built on performance. It is built on presence. So we stay human. We cry, we rage, we rest, we laugh, we create, and we do it with consciousness. Because even your rest is sacred. Even your joy is resistance to a world that worships burnout. Even your play is prophecy. You are showing the world what it looks like to live free before the world is ready. And that is leadership. But let's go even deeper. Because as a living bridge, your presence activates others. You become a mirror. Some will be drawn to you. Some will be triggered by you. Some will try to copy you. Some will try to destroy you. But none of it is personal. It's all energy. You are simply reflecting back to people the parts of themselves they've forgotten. And in doing so, you awaken the grid. You light up the ley lines not just of the earth, but of the human heart. You are part of a living network of awakened beings. And when you live fully in your blueprint, you send a signal. It is safe to rise now. We are not alone anymore. That signal travels. It reaches those who are on the edge of remembering. It pulls them in, and they begin to walk their path because of you, not your words, your being. So don't underestimate your impact. Don't wait for the world to validate what your soul already knows. Move, speak, create, love, lead. As if the world depends on it, because in many ways it does. We are birthing a new timeline, not just spiritually, biologically, ecologically, culturally. The old is crumbling. But the new, it's not coming from governments. It's not coming from institutions. It's coming from you, from your home, from your art, from your energy, from your choices, from your frequency. So I'll ask you one final time, what world are you anchoring with your presence? Because the bridge you are is not passive. It is alive, and your life is the crossing. Every step you take in alignment helps others walk across. Every time you say no to fear and yes to love, you open the gate. Every time you choose presence over programming, you shift the grid. So I leave you with this. You are not a mistake. You are not too much. You are not alone. You are a living bridge. You are the rare. You are the sacred. You are the needed. And the time to rise is now. So rise,